What's up, my fellow light skinned other people too? Welcome back to another video. First off, yes, happy Black History Month. Shout out all my black people, I love you. And today what we're going to be doing to celebrate this month is we're going to be deciding which civil rights leaders would survive in a zombie apocalypse. So yeah, I think the concept's pretty simple. Let's go.
I'm a watermelon man, watermelon man. I'm a watermelon man, watermelon man.
Alright, so the first civil rights leader I have is probably the most famous one, Martin Luther King Jr. And look, as much as he's a great guy, obviously, he was like one of the most important figures in Black history. He was a great writer, great speaker, all of this. He had so many great pros in his life, but that worked with humans. This man was non-violent. He was peaceful. He was the same guy that was like,
I don't care if they push us. I don't care if they spit on us.
if they pour out our grandma's ashes and put them into a pie and then force feed it to us, we will not fight back. And that's not gonna work with zombies. You can't peaceful protest a zombie. If you try to go in peaceful protest and sit there, that's free pickings for them. No, don't get eaten. Yeah, no, Martin Luther King is absolutely not surviving. And next up, we have Malcolm X. And honestly, I think he'd do way better in a zombie apocalypse than MLK. Because while yes, they were both guys who were fighting for civil rights and all that, Malcolm X was a by any means necessary type of guy. That was basically his motto. He wanted to get equality no matter what it took. And that meant if it got violent, it got violent. And look, for some of the guys on this list, or even the girls, if they wanted to get violent, they couldn't because they're small and they're weak and all that. This man didn't smoke, didn't drink, didn't gamble, didn't eat pork, which could be bad, but he was 6'4". And we got to think about it. He was 6'4" back in like the early 1900s. That's basically 6'10" today. I think he's going to be moving like smoke at the end of Sinners if he's in a zombie apocalypse. And honestly, I'm here for it. Now that I'm thinking about it, that should be a movie. Malcolm X versus zombies. Bro, somebody make that movie. And next up now, we got Barack Obama, obviously first and only black president. Not necessarily a civil rights leader, I don't know that he'd be classified as that, but he's still an important black figure, so I decided to include him. And here's my thing. I think he'd do well, because we gotta understand the things that he has on his side, the resources. He could send nukes, he could send drone strikes. It's not like he had a problem doing it to the Middle East, so why would he have a problem doing it to zombies? I mean, like, come on. He should be able to do that. But for the sake of this, let's say hypothetically this apocalypse has gotten to the White House and they have no access to nukes and all that. I still think Barack Obama survives. You're probably looking at me, they're like, what's this guy gonna do? First off, he's 6'2", so he's not small. You know, he could definitely box up some zombies. But then on the second part, look at it from the perspective of a zombie. If you're going down and you're chasing somebody and he turns around and it's Barack Obama, you're either going to be in awe and be like, oh my gosh, you're Barack Obama, I can't eat you. Or you're going to be thinking about how the other zombies are going to look at you. Oh crap. You ate Barack Obama? That's how they're going to be looking at you. They're going to be like, you ate the one and only black president. Out of all the people in the world, you ate the one and only black president. Come on, man. And then you're probably going to die. So yeah, I think Barack Obama survives simply just because he's Barack Obama. Why would a zombie kill him? I wouldn't if I was a zombie. Of course, we gotta include some women as well, though. So here we have Rosa Parks. And look, obviously, first off, we know she's gonna be on the front lines. If we're in a war against zombies, putting her anywhere else would be quite disrespectful. So that's not starting her off very strong. But here's some good things. First of all, her husband was a barber.
Oh, you're gonna look so handsome. While she was saying that, I noticed his locks was holding some snow for ransom. I'm down there disturbed.
So he could be like, hey, if you don't eat us, I'll fade you up. And then as he like fading them up, giving them a line, you know, whatever, then he like cuts out their internal organs or whatever. And I think that kills a zombie. I don't really know. But there's that. And then on top of that, she was also alive to see Shrek 2. I mean, she better have seen Shrek 2. So that definitely helps out because she has the knowledge that exists, which means, you know, she's got to want to stay alive to see Shrek 3. Which honestly, she didn't really miss out too much. But here's my thing. When she did her whole bus thing where she's like, I will not sit in the back of the bus, and she put on her feisty black woman, you know, magic voodoo, then everybody went on a boycott in the Montgomery bus boycott. And if you can't use buses in a zombie apocalypse, I mean, you're not gonna do very well. It's just like a bus is the most effective vehicle. So I think she just wouldn't survive because you need a bus to survive, I think. Still on the topic of black women, though, we will also talk about Harriet Tubman, who I honestly think out of all these people might have the best chance. And here's why. Because, as you know, Harriet Tubman, she navigated the Underground Railroad. She was helping slaves get from different places to escape their owners and all this. She was like one of the most important figures. I mean, she wasn't the only person doing it, of course, but she was like the main lady we think of. And here's my thing, in a zombie apocalypse, that is huge. I mean, in every zombie apocalypse movie, the biggest thing is staying away from the zombies and hiding out and being able to navigate and stuff. And so when she's able to do that, which is the brain power to like come up with secret codes and break into different places and all that, the zombies are never gonna catch her. And this is about surviving. This isn't about stopping the zombie apocalypse. This is about, will this person survive? Harriet Tubman's absolutely surviving. But now we have a different guy, Booker T. Washington. He was a great orator, writer. He was a former slave who graduated out of college, which was a big deal at the time. And he was important to civil rights, of course. But nothing about his career, nope, he's not a basketball player. His life, look at his life. I don't see anything that tells me you could take down a load of zombies. Unless that T stands for taking down zombies, then I don't see any use for you to be on my squad, bro. On top of that, too, like, if you just look at him, does that man look like he can take down zombies? No. Like, I'm sorry, but what is this ad? Okay. But yeah, when it comes down to it, I just don't see a world where Booker T. Washington is really like a zombie. He's really like that, you know? I think he was good for the world, but in a zombie apocalypse, no. No. And next up, we have one that I'm really excited for. Not super well known, but his name is Marcus Garvey. He's like pretty high known, but it's not like everybody knows him. And basically what he wanted was, he wanted all the African people to go back to Africa, but not in like a racist type of way. In like an empowering type of way, where he's like, we're better than America. We got stolen off our land. Let's go back to Africa, probably Western Africa, because that's the best part of it. And then I think what he would have done in a zombie apocalypse would he would make like a Wakanda type of thing. They'd have their own Black Panther. And look, in Marvel Zombies, Black Panther, did he really do anything against zombies? I don't know. I haven't seen the show, but I assume he didn't take down all the zombies on his own. But in real life, when it's just normal human zombies, they're cooking. Yeah, he was just a big believer in Pan-Africanism, which is basically just saying that you want a worldwide cookout with all the black people, not including Tyler Perry. And yeah, another guy that also believed that was a guy named like Web Du Bois or W.E.B. Du Bois or something like that. He also wanted to have a worldwide cookout. And yeah, I think those two would get along great. Together, they could make a great team that really just like stops the apocalypse. Like, there's some people on this list that can survive, and there's some people that can stop it. These two guys, they might be able to stop it. And finally, we have Nelson Mandela, who is probably best known for being the president of South Africa for a while. But he's also really well known for this thing called the Mandela effect, which is basically like when everybody believes something is true, and they like swear this is definitely true, and then it ends up not being true. Like, some people think Curious George had a tail. He didn't. Some people think the Monopoly Man had a monocle. He didn't. Some people think the Fruit of the Loom logo has a cornucopia behind the fruit. It doesn't. And so if you believed any of those things, you're a victim of the Mandela effect. Speaking of, though, I tried pulling that on a Walmart the other day when I went in, stole a whole bunch of stuff, and then they saw me on the cameras and they're like, "We saw you." And I was like, "No, you didn't." That's the Mandela effect. Yeah, and then they tased me 72 times. I probably would have been better off saying it was AI generated, or I don't know, playing the race card. That was probably my best bet. Oh, so you think I stole something because I'm black? Is that right? Huh. I wonder what your manager would think about that if they heard you were racially profiling. You know, it really hurts because this is the anniversary of Martin Luther King being assassinated, and you know, I'm just really in a fragile mind state right now because he was like a father to me, you know, and I hate to see that his work went to waste because people like you still exist. Oh, you want to give it to me for free? Let's just call it reparations, you know? I should have done that. And yeah, here we are at the end. You know, if you enjoyed, I'm happy for you. Happy Black History Month. And let me leave you with some words from a modern day civil rights leader himself, me. I love to go to Popeyes, but I'd rather see eyes pop. Yeah. Yeah. Happy Black History Month. Goodbye. So yeah, I was just watching back the footage, and I just realized that I didn't actually say whether I thought that Nelson Mandela would survive or not, because I got too busy on the whole Walmart stealing thing. Which, by the way, I'm not sorry, Walmart. It's my month. I deserve it. But yeah, I think Nelson Mandela would not survive simply because he was the president of South Africa. It wasn't a cool place like West Africa. It was South Africa, and everybody knows, you know, South is the bottom of the totem pole because it's the bottom of the country. And so, yeah, no, I think Nelson Mandela, even though he has the leadership capabilities, and obviously he was like one of the best presidents the world's ever seen, I would argue that man isn't surviving a zombie apocalypse. There's no way. Try being the president of West Africa next time.
I'm a watermelon man, watermelon man. 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 I'm a watermelon man, watermelon man.